Hi guys, it's Amanda and happy Artsy Fartsy Friday. Today's video is going to be a watercolor speed paint of an illustration I did in honor of Carrie Fisher and her recent passing. I wanted to pay respect to her by drawing her in her most well-known form as Princess Leia, complete with Princess Leia buns and her very iconic kind of white gown. But I added my own twist by giving her angel wings, and it looks like this very sweet, very kind of serene image of her kind of among the clouds, and that's sort of to commemorate her passing on to some kind of supposed afterlife. But the part that I kept coming back to while making this piece was that Carrie Fisher was not this angelic, perfect princess. She was, if anything, the total opposite. And that is why I have such a strong admiration for her. I feel like she was so much more than just a movie star. She was sort of this feminist icon, and she was this driving force in a movement towards powerful, strong women in movies. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for her and what she stood for outside of being an actress. She was a spokesperson, she was a role model, she was a mother, and she was a victim of mental health in a lot of ways, and she spoke openly about that. And one of the things that I truly admire about her was her ability to speak so openly about her battle with mental health, with depression and anxiety and drug and alcohol addiction. I think being able to talk openly about something like that is such an important thing, because it's only when you really talk openly about it that people begin to understand and people begin to ask questions. And when they ask questions, that's a good thing, because then we learn about it and we expand our knowledge and we become better at dealing with it and treating it. And so I truly admire her for who she was as a person, beyond being Princess Leia. But for the sake of paying my respects, I feel like it was only natural to want to draw her in this form. And this was based off of a sketch I did the day that she actually passed and that we all found out. And I'll insert a picture of that here, but I also posted it on my Instagram, so if you've probably already seen it. So yeah, I guess I just sort of built on that idea. I changed the style up a little bit and kind of altered the pose. The original concept was done in ballpoint pen, so my style in ballpoint pen versus colored pencil or the color erase pencil is slightly different. And so this sketch is obviously much cleaner. I sketched it out really lightly onto, I sketched it onto a piece of computer paper and then scanned it in, enlarged the sketch, and then printed a copy off, and then used my light box to transfer that sketch onto this watercolor paper. And if you guys want a more in-depth video on how I do that and how I sort of take my sketches and transform them into a better form to actually paint in color, I can do that for you guys. But I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but kind of when I explain it, it sounds a little muddled up. Maybe it's just the way I'm explaining it, I don't know. And also, this was recorded during a live stream, so that's kind of why the angle's a little funky and the lighting's really bad, because I was using my webcam, but hopefully you're able to notice an audio quality improvement, because this is my first time recording my audio with my new microphone. So hopefully you guys are able to notice a sound quality difference, and that will carry on through future videos. And expect a video quality difference as well once I'm filming with my other camera and not the webcam. So anyway, I filmed this on a live stream, and in the live stream it was mentioned multiple times by multiple people how much they loved the background in this piece. And the background's a little overexposed due to the quality of the camera, but it was really highly requested that I do a video on how I do these sort of watercolor backgrounds, and this isn't the first time I've done a background like this. This is the kind of background I did in my Cartoon Girl series. I did a background similar to this in my Aurora and Borealis piece that I did around Valentine's last year. So this is kind of a common thing for me, and this was my first time doing it in all watercolors. I actually usually do it using watercolor pencils, which are a little bit more buildable, and I kind of am more familiar with creating them that way. So I had to play around a little bit more with this background, but if you guys do really want to see a video on that, I'm more than happy to do that for you. I mentioned in the live stream how, you know, it's easy to request tutorials from your favorite artist or a YouTuber that you watch, but I'm not good at everything. I'm not good at a lot of things when it comes to drawing. So when it comes to requesting tutorials, I want it to be something that I myself really do feel confident in. So if you ask me to do a tutorial on hands and how to draw hands, I'm probably going to say no, because I don't draw hands that well. I don't know how to draw hands that well. And there's really no knowledge that I can offer you to assist you in that department. But when it comes to something like galaxy backgrounds and watercolor backgrounds, I actually feel like I'm somewhat knowledgeable, and I may be able to give you guys some good advice on how to go about that. So if you are really interested, I will be more than happy to make a video tutorial on that. But what should let me talk a little bit more about like the piece itself, just because I haven't really touched on that too much. So I painted this using my Reeves and Winsor & Newton watercolors, just sort of various colors. And sorry, I was messing with the lighting here, so parts of it got really weird there for a minute. But I painted this during the live stream, like I said, and my color scheme was very light, very muted, and like most of my watercolor illustrations, I didn't really go into it with a set end result in mind. I sort of just sat down and went about it. I just sort of threw color into the background and then sort of based the illustration off of that. I knew I didn't want it to be too crazy, too bold, too rich, or anything like that. I really wanted it to be very light and soft. So yeah, I'm really happy with the end result, and I was able to make limited edition prints of this to sell at my comic convention. You guys will be seeing some comic convention vlogs and some kind of prep vlogs, if you will, the next couple of weeks, and then you should be seeing an actual vlog of me at that convention, even though the convention will have passed by the time you see that. It's actually going to be this weekend. Actually, oh my gosh, by the time you're watching this video, I will be at that convention. That is so crazy. Oh my gosh, the whole last half of 2016 just flew by so fast, and I just feel like it's been non-stop ever since. I have so much going on, and I'm totally like losing my marbles. That's what it feels like. But yeah, we're kind of nearing the end of the illustration. I did towards the end go in with some white gouache paint, and with very little water on my brush, I was able to get this desired effect on the wings to make them look very soft and well, feathery, as you would figure. And that's also what I used to create the clouds in the background. Also, what's particularly fun about this piece is that in person, when you tilt it in certain lights, there's pearlescent watercolors that will catch the light and it will look metallic, and oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. I was not able to really get it to show through on the live stream, but it looks so cool in person. I used the Finetech pearlescent watercolors, and I'm actually really pleased with how they worked in this piece. They're a little tricky to layer, and they're not super pigmented, so it almost looks like you're putting nothing on the page at first. but once they dry and catch the light just right, they look stunning, and the colors paired really well with the colors that I used in the background. So I'm really happy with the way those worked out, and if you guys would like to see a sort of product review video or a demonstration using those watercolors, I would be more than happy to do that for you as well. I know there's a lot of videos out there using the gold Finetec watercolor paints, but the pearlescent ones I feel like are a little bit of a different breed, because the gold ones, at least from what I've seen from those videos, are highly pigmented and kind of show up very distinctly on the page. The pearlescent ones are not that way at all. So if you guys are interested in that video, definitely let me know. Like I said, let me know if you're interested in seeing the watercolor background tutorial. And that is pretty much it for this illustration. I'm just kind of adding in the final touches. I am using this Prisma white colored pencil to kind of brighten up some of the clouds and just give them a little bit more fluff and a little bit more shape. But other than that, it was primarily watercolors. Oh, and then I also, I should have mentioned this earlier, I lined it with a Pilot High-Tech C pen. I'm really loving that pen. I might do a review of that as well. And then I outlined the wings in colored pencil as well, as you can see here in the final illustration. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.